So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans. Well, it's
Hello, and welcome to the club. I'm your host, Tib of the Hat, and this is the Upper 90 Club, a podcast where best friends forever talk about the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we discuss, what is happening? Is this a joke? What is happening? So as you can tell, yeah, Dad's gone.
Saturday night.
Yeah, sorry everybody. So Dad's gone. So today we have Trey, Haas, and Mort. Say WTF, everybody.
I'm scared.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're here to talk and yell about this, so we'll see.
All right. Well, since I'm in seeing this bad boy and I have no idea what I'm doing, buckle up, Buttercups. All right. So what does Mars always say? Like, did anybody go to the game? Did anybody go to Charlotte?
Nobody should have gone to Charlotte. How about that?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was, we're going to get into it. So full disclosure, it is Monday? So we're 2 days removed from it. We talked about having the podcast that night. But I think Haas jumped through a window and he was bleeding a bunch. So we weren't able to do it. We lost Mort. He ran away. So yeah, I think we're just going to jump straight into it. Before we do that, I think the hip new thing now is, writing statements, releasing statements. Is that what we do? And we've stayed out of all of the statements, right? Like we've stayed out of
We've never released anything official.
Yeah. So I think tonight
I think we dropped a statement about that we didn't release statements.
Which sounds on brand for us. So we actually got together at B-Dubs and went over a statement to release to the public. And if you guys would indulge me, I would like to read it. You guys ready?
Yep.
Ready.
Okay.
Please.
To Major League Soccer, professional referee organization, terrible name, Nick Primavera and Dong Arbor. Get your out of your upside down giraffe and hire some actual competent refs. You need to sack up and pay some actual officials for your wannabe NFL soccer league. Grow a pair of boy and learn how to actually run a professional sports league. You're making our beloved league look like a bunch of wet from a Zambezi Bay if it were at City Center Mall. Fix it. Sincerely, Upper 90 Club. What do you guys think about that?
P.S. Love you.
Love you.
So I'm not sure how much that is actually going to be able to get on air.
It's going to be all beats.
I will remember forever. There will be a lot of sound effects on that one.
Yeah.
But I fully agree. I fully agree. This farce has been going on enough. And this is lovely because Mars is not here to stop us today, right?
Yep.
We can just keep going for 2 hours. We're going to talk about the ref. So much about the refs.
And I do want to start, even though I will be drinking and it will get real weird real fast, but I normally do not like talking about the refs specifically on this podcast. I hate using them as a scapegoat for anything, but this is kind of, for personally, like my last straw. Like I was just like, that first half, I was like, nope, we're going to have to dedicate an entire pod to it. Because like everybody's talking about it. It's like exhausting. It's like all the other big boys are always just like, oh, refs, replacement refs. And we touch on it here and there. We try not to spend more than like a couple minutes, but this one is going to be pretty heavy.
I'm not mad at the refs. They're just out of their depths. They have no freaking clue how to ref at this level. I'm mad at the league that allows this to keep on going.
I'm opposite. I'm mad at the refs because although being put there by the league and by pro, we had the same issue last year with Boyko and bringing in refs that are not good enough overall. And these games are getting way out of hand and becoming shit shows.
I kind of miss Boyko.
Boyko at least had experience. This guy he'd ref what, 2 games before? 2 MLS matches?
This might have been his second.
And
MLS
3
game.
as the 4th official. So yeah, it's both of them. It's the refs and it's the league. I mean, that ref had the poorest performance of his life.
But I think what I would say to that statement that we're all talking about though is that I am here to yell about his performance, whether or not he's a replacement or not. So
sure, I agree.
I'm not gonna bag on the fact that like he's a quote unquote scab or crossing the line or anything like that, or he's a replacement ref. It's still about being incapable of reffing a game when you are a professional. I don't care what. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and even like reviewing and seeing something and then making an insane call.
Well, the VAR, whoever was running the VAR was trash as well.
Hey, before we get into all of the details, and maybe somebody missed what happened this weekend, should we talk about the game first?
No, probably should. No, don't even tell them about it. Don't tell them about the game. We didn't
forget about it.
We actually won.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we did.
No, we did not. No, don't even. I tried so hard not to rewatch this game. I think Haas tweeted out like, "Are you going to rewatch it?" I was like, "No, dude, no. I don't want to get triggered again." I actually went to work today and I was like looking at Reddit and Twitter, and I started getting like I kept like responding to stuff and deleting it. And I
walked into his office and he was just scrolling through pictures of referees. Like seething. It's like
just like punching the walls. Like, look at this guy, this ref. I don't even know this guy. No, it's just I couldn't deal with some of the takes and like getting triggered, and it's just like I just needed to take a break. But before we hopped on here, I did like check and watch the replay, the highlights or lowlights, if you will. I think so. A couple of you guys watched the first half again, right? I think
I got through the first half. That was it.
Man, it's so tough.
The longest first half ever in MLS history.
Was that a fact? Because I looked up. I wanted to see if Cirque said that. And I didn't see where he actually said that.
I think I saw Brianna with the Dispatch.
Perfect.
I think they mentioned it in the coverage too.
It's bananas. So yeah, we're gonna go long probably on the game, and it's for the first time we're gonna go long on a game and not go over every single goal that happened. Let's just start with the lineup and go there. We knew we were without Aiden, Schulte, and Russell Rowe, right? And we found out we can't call him Pirate because that was Zelly's nickname.
Yep.
Which he never really used. Shout out to Inui, but I mean we're gonna respect that. So we'll call him Pippa.
We were also without Hagen.
Hagen.
Haagen-Dazs.
Currently now our second.
Just gonna call him the ice cream man.
Yeah, call him Cream.
Cream Dream. The lineup, we started with Rossi, Cucho, and Ramirez up top. Yeboah, Nagbe, Zawadzki, and Farsi across the middle. Amundsen, Camacho, Moreira in the back. And Bush getting his first start in goal this year.
Yeah.
So take away Morris and Schulte, and then we have really the normal, pretty normal starting lineup. I mean, you can talk for Ramirez if he would start or not if you use Russell Rowe. But other than that, I think this is the right decision. You have Zawadzki that can play in there. You could maybe have started Jones. That's the only thing. But Zawadzki have more experience playing in this system. And then, I mean, back in the goal, you don't have much choice. Right?
Yeah,
you have one goalie really.
Yeah, we did bring Lapkus, right? Yeah, we brought him because I noticed that, and Maroka for another backup. So, yeah, I mean, no surprises in the lineup, right? I mean, it was still a strong lineup. Like, they were kind of touting it as like, oh, they have some people out, and I'm like, yeah, kind of, but like, this is still probably one of the better lineups in the league, even with the guys we have in. So
it's a big minus with Morris. Morris is a beast in midfield. Of course, they were writing after the fact that they control the midfield. Obviously, they will do that when they play with one man up most of the game. Mm-hmm. But there was actually periods, we will get to that, where we actually had more possession, even in lower numbers.
Yeah. Well, Charlotte was without 5 players. Guess why?
Yes.
Injury. I wonder why they might all be injured.
So let's get that out of the way. Turf. Stop playing on it. Like that should be a question. I'm throwing this out there, and I'm sure this is a thing, but in like the EPL and like the other top leagues like La Liga and stuff like that, do they have teams that just play like just on turf? Are there turf team like
there are exceptions in certain leagues. I know that in obviously EPL and some of these top divisions around Europe, there are limitations on what you're allowed to do. But I know they're like, if you go to countries like Norway and Finland and things, they have to have special approval to play Champions League or Europa League games on turf because they have no choice. And I think there should be limitations on it too. The other thing is, you're in the Carolinas. I mean, there is no excuse for not growing. Maybe one of the best places you can grow grass, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's the grass capital of the world.
I mean,
it's got the best
No,
grass.
That's California.
But no, there's no excuse for it. And the other thing is these football stadiums too. It's not the same turf as you see, for example, on the historical Crew Stadium that you see in Portland. The same one that are soccer-specific turfs. Those are different. They don't have that thick layer of rubber and thicker. So, the football studs with the long, with the long studs going to get proper grip. So it is different to play on that versus other turfs too.
And the big stadiums don't give you the camera angles you need in order to call the game right.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
Anyways,
Skycam.
Maybe if Charlotte would get an owner that can actually invest in the team and isn't worth $20.6
Yeah, but this is like this is an overarching thing that we'll keep coming back to, is that how this league is run, how it's seen, how it's taking care of its players and its fans has just been poor.
No, I think it's bigger than that, though. I think it's just about investment, like getting the owners to make the investment and care enough to put a natural grass field in. It costs
they have
more
this
money
debate in
But
NFL.
it needed to be a rule. That needs to be like, you just don't get to play. I mean, they have other like barriers to getting a team, right? Like you have to have like X amount of people per capita. It needs to be in a city that's close to this, yada yada yada. Like there's all these
downtown.
other things. Yeah, exactly. Like
business
that they enforce against
business
specific
metrics.
teams they want to enforce it against.
But I mean, last year we lost Sands to this. He tore his ACL, and it is notorious for like just destroying players' legs. And I was tweeting the entire time, just leave it half. Like let's just pack up, like take the L, leave.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's go ahead and start. So we have the lineup before the kickoff even officially happens.
Which kickoff?
Exactly.
Which kickoff?
What an absolute circus. So they go to kick the ball off.
But this isn't Charlotte though. He blows the whistle and the guy is already 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, no, he should have been carded after the second time.
Yeah.
Immediately.
He blows the whistle and he takes off, and the guys in the middle haven't done anything with the ball, and he's at least 10 paces down the field.
Yeah, and then
they play the ball to him.
And then he walks back, and then the guy blows the whistle, and
before he's back over half.
The moron just was like, I could go again. And he just like starts running down the field without kicking the ball off. And the ref's like, no, dude.
I like the persistence. I do respect the persistence of that. Everybody knows what's going to happen. And they still do it on the fourth try.
I think my favorite part is the third try where they decide to play it back instead. It drops to like a center back who then tries to play it over the top to somebody and he just kicks it out of bounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the announcers are like, they've clearly been practicing this one. And it's like, what?
They've clearly never played soccer before in their life. So, I mean, before it even gets started, when that happened, I was like, I don't think I should watch this. I don't think anything good is going to come from this. It was just...
You said that, and I get over that, and then we take control, and we almost score after, 1 minute or 3 minutes or whatever it is?
1 minute.
1 minute, 30 seconds. Does anybody have, exactly what happens?
The ball's played across the midfield to Cucho. He finds Yeboah on the left. Yeboah fakes one direction, plays the ball back into the middle to Cucho, takes one touch, shoots from just outside the box with his right, and it goes just by the post, just outside the post.
I swore that was going in. The goalie was just looking at it, just praying. I thought that was going in. I was halfway off of my couch at that point.
Oh, so Cucho started running to the corner. Immediately. He caught it right outside the 18 and no one stepped to him. and he was off by a foot, maybe. Like it froze the goalkeeper. And I was like, okay, cool. We're off and running. Same old, same old. And especially if they're not going to step to Cucho and he's going to have like free reign to just collect and play the way he was. Like, not an issue. And then what was it? He just barely missed top bins. And 7 minutes later, we had Rossi get it out on the corner, or like right at the corner of the 18, drive in and almost score again, hits it right off the post.
Yeah, that was after a corner kick. Yeah.
I have 2 comments about that. I mean, we got another one in second half. When you get in that situation, you can't get too far to the left. Low and to the left, because you got to get to the target. If not, worst case, he goes in front of the goal, and you had actually Kucho lurking on the back post there. The fact that he hits the outside of the post is a problem. It is not the right decision.
No, and I think if you're there, you drive it hard and across the 6, kind of at the goal, because chances are there's going to be a deflection or there's somebody on the end of it. It's just your odds are better. So like, why don't you do that? Although, man, if he had one in the second,
well, I'm saying that he had one in the second half where he put it side netting too in a very similar situation on the other side.
Yeah, I don't want to get too down on Rossi necessarily. We have some issues with that, but we got big.
Highest rated player for the crew on FOTMob.
Yeah,
7.1.
He does a lot off the ball. Like, he does a lot of hustling. He's a different bird. And then it happens.
Thanks for starting.
18 minutes in, Camacho goes down. Now, we don't have anything as of Monday night at 10 p.m., do we, on how Camacho's doing? I don't think they've released anything that. But as soon as he went down, he took his shinnies off, and I was like, okay, he's done. He got up on his own volition and walked off, right?
I think it actually happened in the 15th minute when he goes up for a clearance after a free kick and completely misses the ball. And it ends up going out for a corner kick, but it seemed like that is where something happened. Something got tweaked, whatever happened.
Was he holding his leg or his hammy or his knee? I mean, he was walking. It seemed like he was walking fine, so maybe.
So I didn't see him grabbing at anything. You could just tell by his face that he knew something was off, and he immediately just stuck his hand up and he was done. Pulled the shin guards out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see what it was at any time. Like, I didn't see him grab anything specific.
I felt like it felt very much like he was just like, nah, man, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm 32.
Like,
he literally got
I'm
down
going for this.
And they're like, can you walk? He's like, no, most definitely. I just don't want to do this. Like, this is stupid. Like, I want to play the rest of the season, which is legit. I would be shocked if like Messi and Suarez and like Almada and stuff play on that turf. Like, I'd be surprised if they're not just like, yeah, who cares? That's why every time I see all these Charlotte fans like, we have all these wins at home, it's like, dude, no one wants to play, and no one's playing hard at your place. They'll just chalk it up as an L.
How can you feel good as Dean Smith, this famous Englishman coming in to coach for Charlotte, and you're coaching your home field is just trash?
I know, it's crazy. Did you know Dean Smith was there? Because the announcers never talked about him.
The cameras never panned over to him and stayed on him while the play was happening either.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch it. We're going to get everybody on. We're going to rewatch it. Every time someone says Dean Smith, we take a shot of Fireball. And then we're going out. We're going out on Neal Street. Get weird. Yeah.
Neal Street.
We're taking Seek out when he's back in town.
Up streets.
Neal Street and High Avenue. He said bump this and he bailed. Right after that was the 19-minute sitter that they missed.
Wow, that one is good. And that's called turf ball. He gets stuck underneath him.
100% it was turf ball. So the ball comes like, do you have it up, Haas?
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if we said it. Derek Jones comes on for Camacho. Yeah. Zawadzki shifts to center back. Jones plays in the midfield.
Perfect. Exactly.
But in the 20th minute, Yeboah turns the ball over. Charlotte goes down the right. Vargas cuts to the middle, passes to Agiaman.
Pronunciations brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
Into the box. He shoots and Bush saves it awkwardly, and Moreira's kind of there at the same time. The ball drops to Charlotte. They play the ball back across to a wide open Dejagere.
Pronunciations brought to you by the idiots of Upper 90 Club.
The net is wide open. Like, he doesn't even have to shoot, and somehow he could have like shinned or fell over, hit it with his shoulder, like anything could have knocked
stood
that
there.
in.
It would have, He just completely whiffs like turf.
Then
ball.
Jones whiffs a clearance. Zawadzki gets a touch to it. It falls to Agiaman, who cuts, lays the balls off to Diani. The ball.
Two balls.
As he makes that movement, he also takes out Nagby, and eventually that's the foul that's called. Even Charlotte had scored off of that.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have stood anyways because the guy is like laying right in front of the goal.
Jaggery is laying down in front of Bush,
taking a nippy.
Yeah.
We got lucky. That's just bottom line. Like,
it was a cluster in the box, like just madness.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
Yeah, so we got lucky with that, but was it a foul on Nagby? It had to have been. Like, the whistle blew before the ball hit the back of the net, so it was what it was. They weren't really that bummed about it. Then after that, 23rd, immediately
after the 20th, right, it was still the 20th minute when Ramirez went down.
Yeah, and that's scary because
that's hamstring.
It's hamstring. It seemed like And is that more of a turf thing too with hammies? I don't think it is. Yeah, I didn't think so.
I also noticed that he had kinesio tape all the way up the backside of his hamstring. Also, he plays with that, but he had like 3 of them on the back of his hamstring. When they were like treating him, you saw that was on there. It's like
he kind of crossed it.
Is it
he kind of crossed it awkwardly.
That's a lot of kinesimous tape, right? I mean, the kinesimous tape that's a lot of kinesimous tape. They go to the kinesimous store?
All the way up his leg.
He crossed it a little awkwardly. He got stepped on at the moment, although that's not the same leg that he had the issue with.
Right.
But he looked defeated at that point. Yeah. And I was screaming, throwing things around my house.
Cats. We've heard.
Really glad I wasn't at Parsons for that because I would have made a fool of myself.
Yeah, I think that was the point where I started going, just pack up. Just stop, man. Like, we can't.
Nope.
I don't
want.
It
wasn't then. It was 6 minutes later.
Let's go ahead and get right into the red card. So
it's a 6 minutes. It was 3 minutes.
It was 3 minutes later because there was a 3 minutes of stoppage for him to kind of get off the field. So he goes off, and that's when Max comes on.
Correct. Arfston on for Ramirez,
which is fine. Also,
and also between that time of the substitution and what we're about to talk about, the ref also makes a bad offside call on Charlotte. They were not offside.
By a lot.
He's so involved in this game from I think from the kickoff. 6th minute on. Well, the kickoff mishap, the 6th minute, he makes a bad call where it should have been a corner kick because Bush touched it, but he calls it a goal kick. So it's like, I'm not crying about it watching it, but he's just so involved so early and it's not consistent. Complete lack of consistency.
And we did in our text stream, we did call that boy, he's bad, bad on both sides. It was completely both sided. It was just, what are you doing? These are just
Stacey was saying so many
unbelievably
times, was that a foul? It's no, 100% not.
No, but then this is just absolute bananas. All right, does anybody have a breakdown of what happens here? Because I'll tell you what actually happens. Nothing. No foul, nothing. It was just like soccer happened.
I have an attempt at a breakdown.
All right, do it, man.
Derek Jones turns with the ball, tries to cut to his right as Diani applies pressure. Jones inadvertently steps on him, and Diani goes down. The ref is right there. He can see it happen, does not blow his whistle, does not reach for his whistle, does not do anything. The play continues.
Not a whole lot of players object. Nobody screams, throws their hands up. After a while, they say stop the play because we're going to injure.
No, he doesn't say stop this play.
The play continues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Diani stays down. The ball's played up to Cucho, and he just plays it out. So because he sees Diani's down.
Mm-hmm.
The announcers talk about it being a clean challenge. I didn't even think it was a challenge. The challenge was from Charlotte, not Jones.
And here's one thing I get. If you see in the game that nobody reacts to it, nobody in the crowds reacts to it, there's like no reaction. It's like, is
even
this
the player that was hurt
clear and obvious that something was called wrong?
Can you go to VAR when there's nothing called? Like
you can.
Play continues.
When it's a possibility of
red card.
Yeah, a possibility of a red card
So
for violent conduct or violent serious challenge, whatever they want to call it. Yeah, they can.
But it wasn't a challenge.
Which is insane.
It was bananas.
They said the only thing they pretty much argued that the only way that would be a red after the review was if it was a red on the field.
Yes.
But it was not anything. It was not even a free kick called on the field.
It wasn't a call. It wasn't
I will say this. The funny thing about this, and there's nothing funny about it.
It's going to be hilarious.
But he takes that right, he cuts with the right of his foot and turns, and that's when he steps on. It's like 2 seconds after, he does the same motion twice. That's his normal motion of pulling that ball to the right. He actually does it like 1 second later, does the same movement, but just nobody happens to be sticking their foot under his foot, so he doesn't get a red card, right?
The defender recklessly goes into the challenge and
it goes to ground. The defender goes to ground.
He
has possession,
and he does. And the only reason he stepped on him was because that was where the defender had recklessly exactly. Yeah, like he was mid step and stepped on him.
The instant before he steps on him, he touches the ball with the outside of his right foot.
Yeah. So guys, I don't want to harp on this, but I have to do this. I have to. It's my thing.
You're going to read the rules. Here comes the rules.
Here are the sending off offenses
you took off
from
his shirt.
IFAB. I'm just rubbing right now. Just rubbing. IFAB. National Federation against anybody. Okay, sending off offenses. A player, substitute or substitute player who commits any of the following offenses is sent off. Denying the opposing team a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity by a handball offense, except a goalkeeper. Denying a goal or an obvious goal-scoring opportunity to an opponent whose overall movement is toward the offender's goal by an offense punishable by a free kick. Serious foul play. Biting or spitting at somebody.
Whoa, Suarez.
Hello, Suarez. Yeah, I was going to say.
Violent conduct. Using offensive, insulting, or abusive language and or actions. Receiving a second caution in the same match. Or entering the video operation room, Matt Miazga.
And made just for him.
And streaking.
The only thing that this could be classified as is serious foul play. Serious foul play. A tackle or challenge that endangers the safety of an opponent or uses excessive force or brutality must be sanctioned as serious foul play. He didn't make the tackle.
It doesn't make any sense. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
He did this in no way could be classified as a red card. Absolutely not.
Classified as an idiot. This guy, I couldn't understand it. Like, not even the people. This is on
It's on the VAR.
Well,
it's on the guy running the VAR.
No,
he's the one who called him over to look at it as a possible red card.
And then the referee should look at
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the referee will go over and look at it, and he said no. He should say no too, and say you guys are full of crack.
It's not crack. You're full of methamphetamines.
Yes. That's how we say it in Norway.
It's different in Scandinavia. No, the thing is, like the people, whoever was doing the Apple broadcast was so confused that they put up like VAR for handball. Like
No, that's the offside.
No,
Are you going to the
it's
offside?
on both. It is on both.
Really?
I have the screenshot. I think I have it up. I think I put it down. No, I didn't. I didn't put it on the dock. But yeah, like they on both of those, they were like, I don't know, handball, like possible handball.
Well,
like,
and
couldn't figure it out.
This brings into a bigger tray. You're getting to it, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and then the game moves forward. What are we at? 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later? Do we want to skip that far ahead?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just finish up with that first half so we can go.
I was so confused. Like you watch it again and everybody just their jaws drop. Even the Charlotte players were like, and the guy, like the referee,
their drawers or their jaws?
Their draw.
I think he said his draws.
Drawers drop.
Listen, they need to tie their pants. Is what I'm saying. No, yeah, go ahead and skip. I mean, keep going. This whole clown show just.
Oh, I got more.
Yeah.
What, to 45 plus 11?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean,
okay, wait. No,
so
we officially have to say that in the 26th, 27th minute, Derek Jones is officially sent off for a red card for a serious foul, according to this ref.
Player.
I mean, they were saying he got 8 minutes of playing time, but I think it was honestly like 2.5.
Yeah,
with all the stoppage and stuff that happened during that time.
And the announcer was just very. I mean, he obviously has to toe company line. You know.
Did you see the Charlotte players too? They were like. Okay.
Even the guy that got hurt was just like he came up and like said something to him like I'm sorry.
Well,
and they were like
keep
laughing.
in mind, he was also there last year. I mean, this is where he came from last.
Oh,
year.
sure.
Teammates
Which is why
at least a portion of them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he said something real crazy to him. Like he tackled him and he just like dropped the F-bomb. Like, you know what I mean? Like he probably said something crazy. Are we still sticking to the step on the heel? It wasn't some. Okay. All right, guys. We'll just move on.
All right.
I feel so insane.
So
I feel like I'm filled with crack.
10 minutes of stoppage time called. Also, Arfield for Charlotte goes down and subs off before that stoppage time is over.
Yeah.
Another injury.
Oh, yeah, he took off it. That's another guy who just like took off his shin. He's just like bumped this amount. Like just nope.
So 45 plus 11, Bush plays the ball out of the back up the right side to Arfston. He is at some point in the run of play there, he is running from an offside position back onside.
So hold.
But there is no camera shot that shows you when that is happening.
I looked at
least not from Earth,
and I was like, "There's no way in hell he got past that Charlotte player." Looking at that again and again and again.
So yes,
because you see him, and then you see the ball, and then you see him, and then you see the player in the middle of the field.
What? So you're saying he was offside?
No.
Yes, he was coming back. You could see him moving.
What I'm saying.
He can come back as long as he's back before
the ball's
That's
played.
what I'm saying.
There is no camera angle that shows both things at the same time.
No, there's a camera angle that shows the whole stadium.
It's
from Jesus' view.
He is risen.
I saw a lot of those.
No, dude.
Like this.
Anybody, but I kept seeing this online. They're like, he was coming back from an offside position. I'm like, yeah, when? Like 2 minutes prior? Like if you're ever offside, you're always at one point in the game, you're always coming back from being offside, right?
I mean,
like it's crazy. Like, yeah, it was like a minute ago he was offside. Before, when they're in the locker room, he was offside. It was a stupid.
I think he was probably offside.
Based on
the absolutely piss poor camera angle that they have given us. But that's the problem. You called it a goal on the field.
They didn't call anything. They didn't call offside.
The guy on the side did not raise his flag once for offside. That's what I'm saying.
Is that like, I personally think, based on what I saw, he was probably offside. But there's no way you make that call based on the view that you have to say he was actually offside.
All right. So
nonetheless, Arfsson takes the ball to the end line.
Yeah.
He cuts it back to Cucho, who's coming in at the top of the box. One times it, shoots it low to the keeper's right, and it's in.
Yeah.
Classic Cucho goal right there.
Yeah, 100%. And so, like we said before, the ref didn't say anything. The ref called it a goal. The linesman, who was, 3 feet away from the entire play, called nothing. You know, so say what you will about that, because, I mean, did the lineman just not see 3 feet in front of him? Yeah, maybe, because everybody there was absolute garbage. But so then then a little birdie tweets in his little ear, just like before, like, oh, nothing happened. That's a goal. Oh, wait, someone's telling me to go do something. So he walks on over to the screen. The screen shows so all right, here, before we start.
It's a still image.
It's a still image from, I would think, like 75 feet from the moon, like one of those satellites. And it's this crazy image that doesn't show when our player strikes it, right? Like, because you're
how could you tell? You can't even see Bush in the image.
VAR is beyond a reasonable doubt. So like if you call on the field a goal, it has to be like blatant error. And you can't tell from that absolute insane AI image they showed from space if he was onside or not.
It's like the scrambled image, like when you used to watch TV and you didn't have cable.
Yeah, and you hit select a bunch when your parents were gone. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You can't see Bush. You can't see Bush. You can't see when he kicks the ball.
You can't see Bush. That's what I'm saying.
You certainly can't see the ball.
You can if you hit select quick enough. My friend Alex, he knows. But no, all right. So they showed this thing, and shout out to Ty Fisher on Twitter. He said, tonight's match official has proven an explanation on how the outcome of Cucho's goal was deemed offside in the build-up by Max Arston.
This is the post-match.
Yes, because you're allowed to ask the ref, hey, man, what happened?
What
happened? Yeah, I think that was the question.
What?
Shout out to Ty. He probably was just like, hey, quick question. What happened?
What happened?
What? Idiot. He said, all right, so the answer is Columbus Crew's number 27, Arston. Maxi was in an offside position when the ball was played forward by Columbus's goalkeeper, number 24. Nice. He knew the numbers. Good on him. He's a number guy. A combination of beauty camera and right yard 18-yard camera confirmed his offside position. So he used something called the beauty camera. What is that, you may ask? Shout out Chris Dorn, who's a TV personality and knows this stuff. He says, it is a wide-angle fixed cam used for in-house establishing shot for ins and outs and graphic overlays. So the beauty shot is anytime they go, hey, we're going to commercial, and they shoot something, it's usually like an outside picture of the stadium from like way far above.
When they're doing the lineups and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like this huge thing. So they used a shot. They used that far away shot they used for like halftime and stuff to prove that he was offside.
The VAR, they show him the entire time looking at the screen.
One picture,
and it never changes. It's just the still photo.
Dude, that guy stood in front of that picture from space for like 5 minutes, and I was like, what is he looking at? And he turned around, and he's like, no, offside.
Clear and obvious.
Yeah.
Well, and this goes back to what I was saying is I personally think he was probably offside. But if you call it a goal, if you call it a goal on the field, it stands because there's nothing to prove otherwise. If they called it offside, there's nothing to prove otherwise. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem, is that like using these piss poor cameras in our
Where's that other magical camera angle they talk about?
Right. Why are we?
If it's an 18-yard box, it's definitely not. You can't see what Bush is doing with the ball.
I think that's what they're saying. Is that
they combine the two of them? You see when the ball is kicked, and they see
of the 18-yard box focused on Bush when he's kicking and timed it up with the other one.
Hey, we do this. We do this every week. We do this every week, and we try to time things up, just audio. And we got these yahoos that sit somewhere and they say they're going to tie up pictures. They can't. No. You know,
from the beauty cam. I'm sure the beauty cam has the timestamp on it.
Yeah, timestamp is synced up with the other.
All right,
it's not happening.
Anyways,
insane.
We scored a goal. It was pulled back.
And then, just when you think it should be halftime, they don't. Because he stood in front of that TV and watched Ren and Stimpy for 4 minutes and called it a non-goal. Right before the end of the half, they get a penalty, which
it was.
I can't.
Soft as fuck.
It was
not even a foul.
Wasn't
not a foul.
Like it wasn't. It
was a dive. If anything, they should have gotten a yellow card for diving.
I mean,
but the ball's played over the top from Tavares to Vargas. Vargas and Yeboah are shoulder to shoulder.
Not even.
What does Yeboah weigh? Like 150 pounds?
No. It was windy there.
126. Vargas falls. The ref immediately calls a penalty. Both announcers are saying it's a bad call.
Yep.
He gives a yellow card to Yeboah. He gives a yellow card to Rossi for complaining.
But hey, no. Guys. Yeah.
You know, what's that thing we've been doing multiple times this game when fouls aren't even called?
It's crazy. We have the technology to look at it again and go, you know what?
Like you mean VAR?
Wait, what does that stand for?
I don't know.
The beauty cam was on the other side of the stadium.
Oh, it was more the booty cam, dude. They don't even review. I'm like, they'll review it, no overturn it. We're fine. We're going to half. They don't even look at it. He just starts handing out cards because I couldn't deal with it.
It's a perfect hat trick of bad calls. I have never seen anything like it ever. I have probably seen thousands and thousands of soccer games in English Premier League, in MLS, and I have never seen a half like that.
Yes,
ever.
But it gets better.
I talk in Wausau for those up in Westerville. I haven't seen goals like this done ever,
dude.
But it gets better, right?
Oh yeah.
Well. So
it gets better.
Yeah. So he steps.
So
go.
Go from raging, fuming, pacing around my house, pounding bourbon in a rage,
pounding cats,
to watching Tavares step up to take the PK, does a little stutter step and blasts it over the goal. That
was lovely.
Dude,
wasn't anywhere close.
Honestly,
it felt like a win at that point almost.
That was the best part of the game, right? It had to have been.
Right.
Like, that's the call. And then hold on, I just got this in. Nope, they still can't find the ball. He kicked it out of the stadium. Freaking idiot. No, and shout out Josh Williams. He just said, ball don't lie. And shout out to the crew front office, whoever runs the crew Twitter. Actually, they put SMH, just shakes my head. Like, it takes a lot to have the actual team do something like that. You know what I mean?
Think that there was a better ending to this half. That was just like the culmination of like ineptitude on so many levels, and it's like, all right, cool. Universe said 0-0. That's where we're at.
Yeah. It only would have been better, and I'm not wishing any injuries on people, but if he would have gotten injured on it as well.
But it would only be better if it did.
It would have been better if the ref got injured. If the ref tore his ACL at the end of the game, I would just be like, that's the best non-3 points we've ever had. All right.
Imagine if the guy taking the kick would have somehow managed to get a red card. And it would have just been like, how? How does this happen? How?
Yeah, it's bananas. All right. At this point, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to quickly probably go over those 2 goals. We got to talk Twitter, and we'll just fly through it. We'll just fly through it. But what does he always say? We'll be right, Trap.
Hey, club. You know who rules? You do. You know what else rules? The new record by Takass entitled Deadfall. Recorded entirely in a hidden chamber beneath historic Crew Stadium during the 2020 MLS Cup, these devout Crew fans have birthed a thrash-to-piece. So you're thinking, okay, sweet, but what about those breakdowns and those halftimes? Hey, Ben. I drive an 18-wheeler truck in the desert. Do they have something for me? And for those club members who work in a snake factory and are looking for sweet licks to control those devil serpents, there's this. Lastly, you may be asking yourself, well, this is all great, but do they have an acoustic ballad? Nope. They're a thrash band. 1, 2, 3, go! So stream Takass, that's Takacs, on all your favorite streaming platforms. Hail Matan and go Crew!
All right, hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me again. Coming in here after a 3-3 tie between the Cappies and the Crown Legacy away, that the Cappies unfortunately ended up losing at the PK, so they come home with their first point of the season. And despite losing at the PKs, I think it was a very good game. It was a great improvement over what we saw in the first game of the season that was at home that we lost. And the things that I saw was that a team that was much more comfortable on defense and that was much better at creating chances and absorbing pressure and just passing the ball around the midfield. A lot better movement off the ball. I think that the players who played at this game had a much better understanding of what we're trying to do. The game started a little slow. I think both teams were trying to measure each other, but then it became a really good game, really nice for watching, because each team would have, maybe a window of opportunity where they would be dominating and they would be creating chances and putting balls, in difficult positions for the defense to get rid of. And the Crew 2 did that, and the Crown Legacy did it as well. We scored first. Chase Adams, who is an Academy product, he's only 15 years old, and he is very good. He is out there. He's got the strength. He's got the foot skills to battle and win against guys who are 10 years older than him. He suffered a foul inside the box after dribbling through their defense, and Cole Moroka took the PK, took the perfect PK, and we were leading 1-0. Right after that, Lapkes, I'm so happy to have him back, had a huge save. He had many, many huge saves. I think the first half, he ended with 5 saves. Like a couple of them were very big. He's also very good. But we let in 2 goals back-to-back in the first half due to bad passing, which happens in the system that we have, and I think that they'll be able to iron it out. And then our second goal came from a very good taken corner that Chase Adams, him again, headed like a great forward that he is into the goal. And then a couple more things that I noticed was that Jordan Knight, who started at the Steven Moreira, that attackingly minded RCB, was actually playing on the Mo Farsi role for the Cappies at right wing back, and he looked very good at it. He's so fast. And the Crew 2, the Cappies looked really good in corners. And I think the last thing that I wanted to point out is that all of our goals were scored by Academy kids. This is a team that's really, really young. It's the youngest team we've put so far. We had our oldest player was 21 years old in Jordan Knight. We have several players who are younger than 17, actually. So, they're competing against guys who are much older than him, and they're doing really well. I think that it's shaping up. It could be another good season for us. The game ended up 3-3. In the second half, we ended up letting another goal because of bad passing. We scored a great goal between Jordan Da and Abdou Djamfi. So, good game overall. I'm really looking forward to how this team will develop. Really excited about some of the Academy products that are showing up, and maybe we'll have guys like Taha Harbrun back for the next game after he played really well for the U.S. national teams under 19. All right? Thanks, guys, and thanks for having me again. Bye-bye.
And we're back. Thanks, Bird.
Thanks, Bird.
Thanks, Bird.
Yeah. Good game.
Before we get more angry, because we broke and we just started freaking out, and we had to calm everybody. Haas had to go for a walk, so it's been like 10 minutes. But I want to shout out a big thank you to Morten and Haas for coming to my record release.
Oh, that was a good time.
Yeah. It was fun. I also want to shout out. What's funny is I think the second band was playing, and I was by the bar, and I turned around and I saw a guy wearing the '90s Crew jersey from Supporter Supply. I'm like, no way that guy didn't come from our pod. So I got up and meet him. Shout out to Rex, and I remembered his name because once he said it, he's like, wait, Ben? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, tip of the hat. I was like, it's working. And then he's like, my name's Rex, and he pointed to his arm, and there was a T-Rex on his arm, and I was like, oh sweet, like a tattoo. And I'm pretty sure it was it Reptar? Is that Pickles, Tommy Pickles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say that.
I may be wrong on that, but I was just like, oh, cool. He was such a sweetheart. And I didn't get to talk to the Takis guys. I think Blaine was there. But I miss those guys, so we'll catch up.
I went over and caught up with him. Unfortunately, I was a couple of drinks deep, so I think we come to a point where he was thinking, "Is this guy leaving now? He's going to leave. I was like, okay, it's
Get
time
this
for me to
creep away from me.
I'm going to go inside. I'm going to listen to some music. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, good people.
Yeah, but I appreciate if anybody else came out or whatever. It was a good time. I wanted to.
You guys sounded so freaking good. Check it out.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The sound guy
So did the other bands too.
Yeah, it was a good bill. Great dudes. There's the other guys also have a whiskey podcast I love, Drams and Jams, where they talk a record and pair it with a whiskey. So check those guys out. They're also local. Okay, let's get back to getting pissed off. One thing we didn't talk about was, hey, you did that. Why didn't we get that? Which is the Nagby stomp that happened the first half. We yeah. So
because the upper thigh is the soft tissue and the ankle is really where you have all the hard stuff.
So does anybody have the breakdown on this? Yeah, the hard stuff. Yeah, I forgot Mort's a doctor. Anyway, Dr. Mort, does anybody have a breakdown of actually what happened? I mean, short of...
I just have the Nagby stretches to get to the ball after some kind of awkward play, and Arfield stomps right on his leg near the calf knee area, upper calf.
I thought it was
area.
above the knee.
Above the knee.
Yeah,
I thought it was up
above
like inside thigh, wasn't it?
And did he even call a foul, or did he just stop the play?
Nope.
Nothing.
No foul called. No VAR.
Yep.
No.
Maybe
That's the
worse than the Jones.
And that's the key thing that's like
so
absolutely
like
insane.
you can I am having such a hard time like I'm trying to find the word. So like we don't do the bad thing and then VAR steps in and they make up something and then they do the bad thing and they don't get the VAR. Like it was so backwards. It blows my mind how poor this was all the way around. So that absolutely is a reckless challenge. He goes to ground. He kicks well above the knee, studs up, and hits Nagby. Also, Nagby was getting torn apart the entire game. Like, obviously, if Aiden's not there, they're going to target him.
There's so many big things that overshadows all the other small bad things, and even some of the calls, like we talked about, was sometimes they're going in our favor. It's like, really? Okay, we'll take it. But it's insane. I don't know if you want to get into the goals too much and the finish of the game here before I have to lay into a little bit of MLS and Apple in general, because it's freaking ridiculous what you hear coming into watching 360, watching the wrap-up show, what people are saying. Weeby was saying like, no, that's a clear and obvious red card. When you see all the other three other players in stadium, they were actually players. They were like 100% not. And just try to glaze over all of these errors. The fact that this is like an Apple, you can talk about conspiracy theories if you like, but Apple and MLS are covering each other's asses right now because the lack of camera, the lack of coverage, the quality on the coverage on the games, and the lack of refereeing, and they're all like trying to like sweet it over right now. And it pisses me off whenever you see anything that's posted, game summaries, or the announcers are back in the studio, they're just glazing over these things. And it's ridiculous. In any other professional league right now, if you go to EPL and a game like this happen, all the pundits hired by like they're working for the TV channels, whatever, they will be tearing the league up and say there needs to be a change. Get a stop to this. This have to stop now. But you don't hear any of that. It's like a freaking echo chamber right now, where everybody like, well, you know what? Yeah, it was a couple of maybe not, calls in the decision. No, this is not the only game it happened in this round. I talked about this last week, where there was multiple games. There was like 5 red cards in 5 games. That doesn't happen very often. Bad refereeing. It was the Houston and Denver game where there's a clear like elbow to the face for Denver when they're having a corner kick, and then Houston goes up and scores. Goal stands, no review, no nothing, game over, 1-0 Houston. This is enough. Yeah. And Ben, you were talking about it. It's got to freaking stop. Just pay the money and let's keep going. Yeah, it's a joke of a league right now.
It is not just the replacement refs though. We've been talking about it for a couple of years though. They are set up to fail, and they don't provide them with camera angles. They don't provide them with the proper tools that the other big leagues have. There's
No,
no
but
reason that
you know
that
this
stuff.
You know this from
I don't
going
think
to the
Apple
crew
has
game.
the technology.
No, we go
They have
to the crew game.
cameras. They just need cameras in the right places.
And we know
has
that from going to we go to the games at the Crew Stadium, and at least now they actually have a guy in there this year that actually filmed the crowds. Last year didn't even have that. They
Right.
didn't have anybody went in like crowd shots and everything like that. So they cut it down to the skinny.
Yeah, they have
And they
the
do
money.
the minimal they can do. They have
They have
so
the
much money. We're giving them money probably right now. We're holding iPhones, whatever else, and streaming through
And
your Apple
whatever
computers,
MLS
whatever else. They have
executives
money.
signed this deal without guaranteeing that the cameras would be there, that certain levels of technology would be implemented on the broadcast. That's a bigger issue.
It's not
I mean,
about the game.
How do you
Yeah, they
drop
don't
that
care.
ball?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the statement that we as a club got together at B-Dubs and talked about that I said at the very beginning. Like it all comes down to the entire umbrella of the thing. Yeah, I mean, we knew back in '96 when Dong was saying, "Oh, I want to make this like the NFL." It's like he doesn't get it. This isn't the guy, but he's still here. So that's a bummer.
Let's wrap up this.
Yeah, and we also want to say across the
away
board,
day.
there will probably be a game where we benefit from this, and we may have already. We may have already. I don't think we actually have, but there are games like Philly. I know got screwed. I know Cincy, there was a game that got screwed, and for the most part, what I read, the discourse on Twitter and the discourse on Reddit, for the most part, is even somebody like Cincy. A lot of their fans were like, "Dude, honestly, that was terrible. Like that was garbage." And I don't know if we would have won the game or not.
There need
somebody
to be
with a
more
voice
discussions.
speak up.
More discussions about why this isn't being fixed. Just pay these people so they can have one job. And do it well.
In Europe, they make. I think they make over $500,000. The EPL refs, from what I understand, they also have like new rules because of that Liverpool kerfuffle where.
Are you going with that again?
There was a Liverpool thing, so now they release all the audio and everything. I think either in game or right after the game.
To
like
hear the audio from this game.
Yeah, but they don't do it. But they made that a rule because of what happened.
No, that's my point.
We're gonna put a pen in it, but this was pathetic. Like this was a masterclass in stupidity. Period. And it's got to stop.
Cover the goals. I don't want to cover the goals.
Yeah.
Do you want to cover the goals?
Charlotte scored 2. One was a banger. The
one
other
was good.
one.
Yeah, Westwood's goal was great, although he
Volley.
maybe shouldn't have been on the field because he had a yellow card in like the 11th minute and then multiple fouls. Yeah, Charlotte had a total of 27 fouls in the game.
That's insane.
They had 6 yellows.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he blasted it. Great shot. Nothing.
It was a poor clearance from Amundsen.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Right back to him.
Hey, but he chested it, volleyed it, didn't hit the ground,
It's a
great.
Hit. Wasn't the best hit I saw this weekend, but
no. Shout out Tyler Adams. That was disgusting.
Sick.
But yeah, if anybody's looking at this game saying any of that stuff's justified, you're just fooling yourself. Pathetic.
And if you haven't watched it, don't.
We'll move on.
Don't waste your
and
time.
guess what? We'll just move on. And let's hope that none of our guys got severely hurt because of the turf. And the only other thing I really want to touch on is Sands got subbed in, and I think I didn't stop yelling, Why are you doing that? Get him off the field. I was freaking out. I was like, is it something you're trying to teach him? Like you get knocked off the horse,
said the same
get
thing.
back on the horse. Yeah. And we also want to talk about a little bit about the Cucho got subbed off. He was very upset about getting subbed off. He walked straight into the locker room.
He tried to walk to the locker room, and I think Camacho stood up and said, "Hey, I've been sitting over here all game.
Come warm.
Join me on the bench."
Come warm
for
me.
the last couple of minutes.
For like 5 minutes.
And we didn't mention last part either. No Nancy on the bench today. On Saturday. He was out sick. I'm hoping he is all right. I don't think it was down to any coaching here that
No,
this time.
No. And this will bring us to the Tom Bogert section, which we're still trying to get a little jingle for. Tom, hit us with it. But after the game, the Columbus Crew assistant coach, Kwame Ampadu.
Ampadu.
it says he doesn't weigh in during the controversy reffing and the sides 2-0 loss to Charlotte. He says, quote, the referees are trying to do their job. Simple as that. No more to say on that. They're trying their best. That's it. It's little Bobby's trying his best out there. He's just not up to it. But also he doesn't want to get fined because an assistant coach and doesn't make the type of money that a head coach has. So,
well, I mean, he's saying what he should say.
Yeah, he absolutely, yeah. And fair play to that because anybody else, I'm sure Nancy probably would have said the same thing like, like blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're stand-up people. They're not like us who were just like.
Were those blah, blah, blahs in French?
Yeah. So, sorry. All right. All right. We're done with this game. Or are we? Now we read the internet. All right. Internet time. So I just put out, thoughts? Question mark. And just a couple people responded. 19 people. So Connor says, can I get 20 minutes of a spot uncensored on the pod? That would make me feel better. Connor, kind of wanted to, but it's a family-friendly podcast, and even though you
used to be.
Yeah, used to be. And I only have so many beeps to think about, but I appreciate you. Way says, literally the worst game I've seen in years. Please, for the love of God, fly these scab refs into the sun. Hey, question. Is scab refs like derogative?
I don't like it.
I don't think so.
I looked it up, and it seems like not really, but it's not. It's definitely like a term that's not looked. It's not like, oh, I'm a scab ref. I'm happy to be a scab ref.
We don't say it because we mean well.
Yeah.
How about that?
I
think it's acceptable to use. I mean,
it's just about
scab. We use
people coming in and replacing the union workers, right?
Yeah, it's not for this specifically. It's like it's a term used for people that replace the union workers.
Lesser than people coming in and replacing.
We used it at lower.com.
I was just worried it's like an acronym for something that's like real not great.
I don't think so.
And I'm sitting here going scab, 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 and everyone's like, cancel this.
I got predict picks.
We're getting to that. All right, Jamie Soto says, proud of our team for battling till the end. Yeah, we actually played pretty well. We had some good play during the thing. Like we did all right.
We should have spent some actual time on that. The fact that with 10 men, we were still pushing and still creating.
But the ref was so bad, it just absolutely overshadowed the entire thing. He said, what's up?
Jamie's next comment was better. Just put the...
where the announcers are constantly questioning the ref? They kind of were. They were doing the best they can not to.
She put the one right after that just had the red mad face with the expletives across it.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. He said nothing to be gleaned from this game. We move on and get ready for Nashville. Yeah, Nashville got stomped, and their goalkeeper Willis got red carded, so he won't even be at that game. They're not looking good. So even though it's an away game, it should be a tad easier, and I don't think that's turf. Courtney said these things are too dark for the internet, but she also message us right even before the thing was done. She's like, I can't wait to hear you guys get so pissed. I was so close to having her on.
Wow, that was a great Courtney voice.
Yeah.
That's what
I've got this clock. I was so sick and tired of all these people.
She's been chain smoking for the last 15 years suddenly.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good at
3 months. And
all right, I'll do Courtney. Tip of the hat. Got a clock. Tip of the hat. Got a tip of the hat. All right, she got the tip of the hat.
I like Floridex's take. Yeah. I give way too goddamn much money to the MLS.
That is correct. Bless that guy's soul.
Speaking of which, I'm so happy I'm gone most of the month of July because I saved so much money because there's so many events at lower.com and around town that is soccer related. Oh, I can go on vacation and save money. That's not often.
Yeah, but you're going to go on vacation though, right?
Yeah, going home.
Oh, that's too deep. It's too good. Yeah. Anyway, Adam Porter said, actually encouraged by how they played most of the game down 12 on 10 men. This game means nothing on future outlook. Can't agree more. Harry Hood. Ooh, I don't know about that name. Far more worried about the status of Camacho and Ramirez than I am about the loss. I think they're going to be okay. Ramirez would be the one.
Can you read that?
Hold on. Is that HARRY or HAI?
That's for you to find out.
Just read his name without commentary.
Asking for a friend because that makes a huge difference.
Hey, man.
Whether or not you should comment on the name.
All right.
That's his name.
Just
Are we name shaming?
No,
you were name
you
shaming.
did. You literally name shamed the guy.
I thought it meant we. You.
Hey, we're going to go to VAR for that. Let's see.
No, Fuzzy Beaver.
Kat said, how much time do we have? Scott Turnbull says, you don't want me to start. LOL. No, we went way too long on this in general, but man, that guy sucked. Fire those refs and the VAR assistant, said Manuel Villalobos. Yeah, get rid of them. What does he say? Yep. Concerned about the Cucho incident. I'm not that concerned about it. He wants to win, and it's like Tyler Adams in the U.S. game.
He's
like
got passion.
Like Tyler Adams did the exact same thing. Don't worry about it. If he didn't care, that would be a bigger issue. Brian Schnick said, and Christopher Calderon blows for full time in the last MLS match he'll ever see. We talked earlier. He's done 2 MLS matches. His first one had 5 or 6 yellow cards, and this one he's had another 6 or something like that, and a
6
red
plus probably a handful.
But I think he's only reffed
9 yellows and a red.
He's only reffed
in this match alone.
10 matches. Whatever, man. The guy's absolutely miserable.
Most of them multiple were as a fourth official.
Okay. He didn't give all the cards as a fourth official.
I'm going to read a couple more. So at 4, Madmen said, it was a nightmare. And then it's a picture of Sonny from Spurs. So, of course, I'm going to do that. Man, yeah, sorry. Sorry we went so long on the rest, but something has got to change. And I don't know who needs to pay what, but you got to figure it out. Because this is impossible to watch, and it's no longer may the best team win. It's like who we screwing over this week, and we are not the only ones.
Isn't Apple invested enough to just be like, all right, we'll pay it. We'll pay it for this year. Figure it out. We want a better product. We don't want this trash.
You think that the regular MLS refs are that much superior to these people?
Yes.
I don't.
At least the performance as a team of refs.
I mean, the bar is overall. So low.
That's overall. I guess, yeah, Ben, that's what I'm saying is that the bar's really low in terms of what we're
They were garbage. They were garbage to
but
begin
no,
with. We had issues with them.
It's not once in a while. It's every game. Even last game.
Yeah.
Last game could have been pretty nasty. There was a lot of no calls. There was a lot of your Red Bull can play in a very physical way, and they could have really broken some legs a little bit more.
Yeah.
If we didn't have more luck.
Yeah. And the reality is, man, karma's going to come. Charlotte's going to have a game where they get absolutely screwed. Same thing happened with us last season with Philly off the jump. We had a game where I think we won because of some ref flub. And it's just they'll get theirs. I'm not worried about it. Mort, let's go to predict picks.
Let's run through the tables before we predict, right?
Yeah, let's do tables. Who's doing tables?
Tables. Just tables. Tables. But tables. I can't know how to hear any more about tables.
We got Cincinnati in first. Boo, 11 points. Inter Miami with 10. Red Bull, 10. Columbus, 10. Toronto, 10.
10.
Montreal, Charlotte with 7. Atlanta, Philly, DC, and Nashville with 6 points. Chicago with 5. Orlando City with 4. New York City with 3. And New England Revolution with 1.
Mort, let's go to predict picks. What do you say?
All right, it's not much to talk about because, there is absolutely no change from last week because everybody got absolutely 0 points. Nobody got us having 0 goals, by the way. I would like to see a stat on that, but I can't remember many games we have not scored at all. Not even to talk about.
Well, we did, but okay.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Officially, no goal. So no points for goals scored by crew. No points for the correct result or the correct score. So I don't know what we had on the internet, but I doubt that anybody had this prediction.
Yeah, no one had 2-0. A couple people did have us losing, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Turf.
I think most of them
away.
had us scoring a goal.
Mhm.
Though.
I think a lot of it was 2-1 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
2-1
Yeah.
is partially the correct call, I guess. But
No
that
points.
means we stuck right where we were with Ben. You're still number one with 5 points. And then Mars, Trey, and Mort. We're in the bottom with 3 points. And Haas, you enjoying your spot there in second spot? Nice.
For now.
For now.
I don't expect much
Still early.
of myself.
But that brings us to Nashville and Columbus Crew.
Yeah. Do you think Nashville's going to wear the yellow? Don't wear yellow against us. Don't do it.
It's in Nashville,
Don't you
right?
do it. Yep.
It is
At
in
Geodis.
Nashville.
So they'll have some guy who plays like 2 notes, like bow bow, and then breaks a guitar. It's stupid.
No, it's still nothing worse than the New England one. Period.
Oh,
Fair.
The
Fair.
cardboard box of tea.
Are you talking about that
is
guy that was
tossed off the
recycling?
crowd.
He's just recycling.
The wind took his recycling straight out of his hands.
He's like, that's supposed to go in the trash. Yeah.
Okay, who comes up with that and who agrees to that?
Porter.
I don't know what's worse.
Apple.
Yeah, Porter. Yeah, they're doing great, by the way.
Yeah, well, aren't they owned by the Kraft family? You know, like
They
they
are.
don't care about that team.
Nope.
Kraft,
definitely not.
like in paper, like the Kraft 42
No,
pound
like Kraft cream
paper.
cheese.
Okay.
Yeah,
mac and
mac and
cheese,
cheese.
cream cheese. What is wrong with you?
No,
Hey,
I was thinking of
hey, listen, I
cardboard
cream my
boxes.
mac and cheese.
Cardboard box.
Pro tip.
Kraft paper. Come on.
I want everything creamed.
Creamed corn and mac and cheese.
Oh my lord.
Wet corn. I see you, aces. I'm coming for you. All right. Let's hop in the chat and figure it out.
Wait.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold on.
mine's not working.
Hello,
either.
we're doing prediction. We're doing predictions already. We're not going to talk about the standings.
What
Where
are you
Nashville
doing?
is. We're not going to make any fun of Mars that spent all his money on the flight. He's like,
Did anybody text Mark?
Yeah, I have his prediction.
All right, let's get into our predict picks. Show me them predict pick.
All right, let's talk about D's next
I don't know.
games.
I thought I
You got to think about that.
I'm already sweating.
Man, I don't even know. Like,
Buckle up, Buttercup.
My tongue is sweating.
I'm not good at doing things.
You're dumb.
3, 2, 1, go.
What? No way!
Wait, that's a real score. Okay, that's I'm keeping that in. That is our real reaction to. Okay, cool. Mars is not on the same page. Okay,
Yes.
so again, to reiterate, when we do this, we all say 1, 2, 3, go, and everyone hits enter in our chat. And who wants to? How about, let's start. Meow 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 meow. Let's start. Let's not tell anybody. Haas, why you said 3-1 crew win? What makes you say that?
I said 1-3 crew
Okay,
win.
Take it easy.
Yeah, so technicality is actually, Trey, if you stuck with what I said last week, you would have been correct. Because you said 2-0, which means Charlotte would have won.
The
But
home team scores listed
Give
first.
him the points. Give
you like my
him the
formatting, by the
points.
way? I did proper formatting. I get hung out on X. I want to defend myself and have the formatting right. But
Okay.
Haas, go on.
I did 3-1. Their starting keeper is not going to be there.
So Zimmerman's not going to be there?
Zimmerman is injured.
Did he play?
That's why he wasn't
Oh,
with
Did he
the
play in
didn't
Euros.
Charlotte?
That and they just lost to LA 5-0.
Brutal.
I think that's why.
Yeah. Mort, you said 3-1. I'll give Trey time to unmute.
Yeah, no.
What'd you say? So you also had 3-1. Muy
Yep,
interesante.
I formatting. I said Nashville 1, semicolon 3 crew. So formatting should be all right, and no confusion there.
Okay.
They do have Zimmerman out. They have McNaughton, whatever his name is, out. They don't have their goalie like we talked about. I think we're gonna be a little bit pissed off. I don't think we get too emotional though. I think we're just like getting motivated.
I mean, I'm going to be emotional.
Yeah, no, we're going to be emotional,
Oh,
but they're going to be motivated. Nashville is ripe for the pickings, and we will get our 3 goals. And, they're at home, so they're probably going to get one.
Yep.
That's it.
Trey,
That's all.
so you did something different than Haas and Mort. You said 3-1 crew.
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
What makes you say that with your mouth?
The wetness.
Wet boy.
Yep.
He
No.
technically typing it, but details.
With his mouth.
Just a little bit. No, multiple players out for Nashville. Plus, you've got pissed off Cucho.
Yep.
You've got our Canadian friend from up north coming back. I think he's going to play a role. I think you got Matan coming in. You got Aiden coming back. And I don't know. It just felt like one of those games that they're going to go score multiple goals and walk away from there with the win.
Yeah.
We'll see about Matan. I haven't heard anything about when he's coming back.
Okay.
Early April is what I've heard. But
Oof. I didn't think it was going to be that long. Okay. I mean,
early April's
is this week.
Not Saturday.
If you're into knowing what days of the week and months we are doing. All right. Before I talk, we'll go to Mars. Mars, you said 2-2. Why do you say
What's wrong with
2-2? That's kind of weird. Well, hello, I'm Mars. Tip of the hat. What I think is gonna happen. What I think is gonna happen is a 2 tip of the hats to 2 tip of the hats. Thank you, Mars. That was amazing.
It'd be nice to Mars. He flew like him and his 15 kids down to Arizona.
Dude, he spent
he's
rented
going to
the
go
whole
down
plane.
there. He's going to stay on street corner, panhandling,
saw
and
the
try
picture.
to
There was
make his way
nobody
back
around him.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and more credit to you, Mars, for taking that many
God
kids on a plane.
bless.
Yes.
The fact that he lives his life with that many kids is an absolute banana sandwich. Like I've got 3 and I'm trying to sell 2 of them and buy a cat.
And he still has time to host the show.
Yeah.
I have 2,
but not this
and
week.
try to sell 2 of them.
Yeah. Get your vasectomies checked, my boys. I, like my fellow brother in here tonight, said 3-1. So all of us have the crew winning 3-1. Yeah, I'll double down on saying their defense is not that strong. Their starting goalkeeper, who is totally legit, is gone, and we're gonna start probably
Red carded.
Yeah, he's. We're gonna probably start Russell Rowe. We're gonna start Cucho. We're gonna start Rossi. They can't handle that, and we're gonna have Aiden back. It's not a thing. They do have Hani Mukhtar, who has not been playing well, but he's still awesome. They have Sam Surridge, who's Southampton fame, kind of. He's from the EPL. He's legit. They have Tyler Boyd and they have Mule. Their front 4 is also kind of nasty. So I think they might steal one, but I don't know, man. We're not going to be stoked, and hopefully Nazi's healed, and we're going to go down to the country music capital of the world and take a toot on those bad boys. What do you think?
Yep.
You guys ready to do it?
Speaking of red cards, we don't know if the crew have appealed Derek Jones's red card, because if they did, I think I read on Twitter somewhere that they would have had to have appealed it last night, being Sunday night. But I haven't seen any reports on it. You only get 2 for the year.
I don't think they are. The reason being because I think they already know how MLS works.
Yeah.
And they're going to stick by it, and they're not going to return it.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it. Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
is it like throwing the red flag? If you appeal it and win, do you still have it?
That's a good question, and I don't know.
My
assumption would be yes.
See, my assumption would be no. I could just see them being like, no,
you only get 2 whether you win or lose.
Yeah, right. I think that's probably the thing.
I mean, that sounds like Mr. Garber.
I'm not going to be extreme as some people out there saying that we should replay the game, because I don't want to go back to that freaking stadium before we have to.
It's a loss. I'm fine with the loss. We lost. I mean, in the end, we lost. They scored 2 goals. We scored 1. They scored 3 goals. We scored 1. However you want to look at it.
Don't care.
It was just hard to watch.
Yeah, it's a non.
They scored
sad to watch.
They scored 3, missed a PK, plus everything else.
Yeah,
like
should have scored 4.
Sure.
It's sad that we talk about this, not somebody's performance, good or bad. I think the team in short,
we have spent the
team-
entire game talking about, or the entire night talking about a performance that was good or bad. By the center ref.
By the center ref. And what I want to go back to is like, and I saw this, everybody says this, we agree with that. This is not on the team. I think the team played well. The team actually at the times played more and good enough to win, even with 10 people. So that's why we believing in them, and that we'll come back and win. Except for Mars, who is a fair weather fan.
Yeah, you know, we've had poor ref games before. This one just happened to be kind of exceptional. Before we go, I do want to ask Trey, because I tend to be extremely emotional and hyperbolic, and I'm always like, this is the worst game I've ever seen. And he's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, I know I'm an idiot.
Sure.
But was that the worst ref game you've seen professionally?
No.
What do you mean no?
It was absolutely not.
Do you know the game?
I have a game on the. I have a game.
To me,
and it's,
last year the Boyko game was worse than this.
Not
the way that he lost control of the game last year.
Oh yeah, that was so unhinged.
Made it to me.
It just wasn't compounded with injuries caused by turf.
Correct.
And had it been compounded with that, it would have made it huge.
This game had calls that were bad, but not necessarily. I don't know. Like
it didn't build. I'll give you that. Like at the end of the first half, it felt like it was kind of a relief when he absolutely blasted it over the goal. That is hilarious, man. I tell you what, I'll take a loss if some gutty does that.
I got another one. I have
one more comment on Boyko. It felt like he was trying to insert himself into the game.
Yes,
like to be like a star. But so I kind of see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hold on.
I have to go all the way back to 2012. Chelsea, Barcelona.
Good.
Jerk.
Are you talking? Is that the Messi game?
No, it was when the Drogba after the game says it's a disgrace, and it was actually a Norwegian ref, and it was the last game he ever refereed in his career.
Wow!
And he had 3 clear penalties for Chelsea. Handballs that he didn't call or something like that. And it was like an insanity of a game. Yeah, and Drogba was held back from like going after him. That's the last game I've seen that has been as bad as this, and that's going back.
It just
11 years.
12 years. With VAR, it just still blows my mind that we're still missing glaring stuff. I personally don't understand it. I'm a Spurs fan, and we've actually been blessed with a bunch of crap. And it's just like, I still don't understand how you can look at something and go and still make the wrong decision. Like, it seems crazy to me. And it's like this. Did Boyko have that? Did he have a VAR or like a non-VAR? That's just the thing. It's like the whole assistant.
His was more like a compounding of just bad refereeing.
He just lost control.
Review because he lost control, and it was just yellow.
Which to me is worse than the situation that we had this past Saturday.
Overall, okay.
Right. Like where it's like, that's a bad call. But I can see why you made that bad call. I don't agree with your bad call.
But not compounded into one half of a game.
Right.
That first half is the craziest thing.
This might
ever
have
watched.
like if you said, is this the worst half of soccer? Like just the first half? Possibly.
Yeah.
But I still think it has
the
more to do
worst
with
and longest.
Right.
Oh yeah. By the way, did we mention that?
He did get
we did mention
we
that.
did.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that was the worst, longest thing they've ever had. You know what I mean?
Hey, it was bad. At least it lasted really long.
The worst, shortest thing? Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody for listening to us rant and kind of get this out. We haven't really talked about how bad this was. We kind of tweeted about it. We like texted each other about it. We took a couple days off, thank God, because we were probably in no state to do this, probably even yesterday. But hopefully everybody can cool off, listen to this, have their vent session. You guys can hit us up. You guys can email us. You guys can hit us on our DMs. Once we get some more home games, we are going to have those bracelets. I don't like the word. I don't like the word bracelets. What?
Wristbands.
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 I'm going to call them anklets. Because if you believe it.
If you have really small feet.
I have.
you can
Yeah, I got tiny little baby
monitoring your
ankles.
people.
Human baby ankles.
And it still stands. If anybody sees a magnet on a car, snap a picture, hit us up in the DMs.
Somebody
and
did.
we will send you some.
Really?
Don't
Yeah.
just go up in my driveway and take picture. That's creepy.
Yeah, we'll get you with the stuff. We'll get you with the stuff. But we appreciate you
Yep.
guys so much. Even in the hard times, like this is not a big deal. We're gonna move on.
hard
We're gonna go
times.
back out and just
We've
crush
lost
people.
one game.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
All right, you'll hear us next week. Go Crew.
Go. Mars, come back. Mars, we miss you.
I'm so
Please come
sorry.
back.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
All right, we will see you guys, girls, anybody next
We're
week.
not going to see anybody.
We'll start this over. Dang it. Where you at, Mars? Come back.